PC Nation, hey, Zach Edwards here for another Tutorial Tuesday. And today we're going to go through a plethora of questions that came from our virtual tournament and any other questions that were asked throughout this last week. So this is our Historical Conquest card review and discussion board. This is basically where every question that's asked about Historical Conquest, whether it's email, whether it's social media, whether it's our virtual tournaments, we compile here so everyone can read them as we go. So in this, you can see that they're a little bit out of order. There's 4, there's 1, we're down to 7. Okay, so I'm going to go through them in order of the last people that talked about them, because everyone's conversing on here. As you can see, there's a lot of comments. So I would like to ask you what your thoughts are. So please add to this group. If you're not allowed to have a Facebook account, see if your parents have one and see if you can use their account to go on the site. Ask them to come along. I mean, this is a lot of fun. But as you're searching it out, again, remember to look up Historical Conquest card review and discussion board. And this picture is the one that should show up. Okay, so here we go. First question. Again, these all came from the virtual tournaments. So it says, new question from the virtual tournament. Question number 4. A player asked, does this mean that there is no crossplay against your opponent and them against you? Does this also mean morale points? What do you think? Now, this is talking about this ability right here. So it's Pax Romana. Romana. Your nation has entered peace and prosperity. Be at peace with all players for 2 turns. Okay, so the question is, so Steve Brown actually puts down here, good question. Give the spirit of the history of Pax Romana. I think at peace means that no one can attack your land or take your civilization's morale. Now, Rome certainly attacked others at that time, so it would be historically accurate to have you able to target others. Oh, wow, this is interesting. So I didn't even think about this part. So it says, your nation has entered peace and prosperity. Be at peace with all players for 2 turns. Okay, so Steve, you're absolutely right. Historically, it would be great that no one can attack us, but we can attack everyone else. At the same time, with this game, we'd like to bring down peace rules. Man, so if it was worded differently, I'd say it'd be differently. Maybe in the next print, it should actually be a little bit different. But as for this one, I think we're going to have to go with that everyone's at peace. But that includes, and that's not, they can attack each other, but they just can't attack your country. So you're safe when it comes to someone attacking your lands or you attacking someone else's lands, and your morale does not go up, or sorry, does not go down from someone attacking you. It can definitely go up because you have a peace. Your morale would skyrocket during that time. So that's going to be the official ruling for the Pax Romana. So as for this ability, but Steve's right, that would be great to have it so that no one can attack us, but we can attack everyone else. A little unfair, but it's only 2 turns, right? 2 rounds. That's actually going to be changed to 2 rounds when we change the abilities again. Question number 1. Okay, this one says, a player asked if he plays Claude Monet and another artist, say Leonardo da Vinci, takes the morale of a technology card. Does Monet also receive those morale points as well from the technology card? What do you think? So I'd like to see what you guys think. Coming down here, Dane is actually the one, this is his parents' account, says, if Da Vinci was in play before Monet, then I would say no. Exactly right. Because the abilities say when your opponent plays any new artist card. But if Monet was out first, then another player played Da Vinci and got the morale. Then Monet's abilities would work. And that was from Dane. Okay, so in other words, here's Monet. It says, while Monet is in one of your lands, you gain the same morale points as any opponent when he plays any new artist. Okay, so if somebody else gets technology from an artist that's in there like Da Vinci, then yes, Monet would get the exact same amount of morale. So anytime an artist gets morale for the civilization, Monet collects it as long as Monet is alive. So if you have someone like Simo Eha and you have the ability to take out Claude Monet before that point, it'd probably be helpful. So you'd actually get it. Now here's a question that's not in this question. What if one or both of you win at that moment? Who wins first? Well, if Monet is stealing it, his is not an interrupt, so he's not interrupting that action. So Monet would be ultimately getting it second. He'd be the second one to get the morale. So whoever played Leonardo da Vinci and gets that morale and wins, they would win first, just to clarify. Okay, going down further, we have question number 7. A player asked, if someone hits my land with Chernobyl, wiping out my land, can I save one character? That means with Marie Curie. Where does he go now that the land has been discarded? So Chernobyl wipes out the entire land. So if Marie Curie saves that person, so prevent one person character card from being discarded, where does he go if he doesn't have that land? We said, okay, that is above the rules. Now, Steve actually did pipe in here. I think that, yes, the character is saved, but the real question is, where does he go with no land? The rules don't address what happens when a character no longer has a land under them. They sink into the ground. That's right. Just kidding. They sink into the sea. No, I think the spirit of the history of Chernobyl is that the land was still there, and there were some survivors who made a recovery. So maybe can make a rule that a card that becomes landless would go back to your hand. Oh, okay, interesting. So you could say that. I'd say another way of doing this is, either way, you're going to be putting him into another land. I say, let's keep him in play and just place him in another land. We do in the rules, it does not address this. Steve's right. And so if a survivor is from Chernobyl, Chernobyl, they still don't use the land around the area. They're starting to explore the ability to use it, and some people actually do use it. They're people that live within the irradiation zone. But civilization has not really come back to that area yet. So just like with this question, the land's basically wiped out. Where do you go? I say just place them in another land. Moving on. Okay, here we go. Question number 6. This one is on Harriet Tubman. A player asks if I played Harriet Tubman and then my opponent plays CIA and tries to take out Tubman, can the CIA take out Tubman since her abilities say no opponent may play any card against you? Okay, so let's put this in other words. Harriet Tubman says no other player can play a card against her, or against Harriet Tubman. Actually, let's bring this out. There is peace in your civilization, and no opponent may play any card against you or attack your land for 1 round. Now, I gotta talk to you about interrupts. That's Harriet Tubman's an interrupt. She plays interrupt, but the CIA is also an interrupt. So the way that we figured out how an interrupt works. Okay, check this out. So I'm going to show you in this small little window that I have. If I play Harriet Tubman, I throw a ball up in the air. It's like, say I get morale points, but it's an interrupt. I throw the ball up in the air, and I'm waiting to catch it. Somebody comes in and interrupts that ball falling. That's what an interrupt is. The ball is still up in the air. The interrupt comes in. So do they get the 500 points before this card's played? No. The interrupt then takes over. Someone plays CIA and wipes out Harriet Tubman. Takes out Harriet Tubman. So she goes away. So that the points that are still up in the air go away. Harriet Tubman cannot catch them for the civilization. They cannot deliver it to the civilization. CIA comes in, blocking basically Harriet Tubman's abilities. Now this will actually come up in the following discussions, other comments, posts that were put in here. So we're going to keep going, and we're going to show you this. So Steve said that interrupts still happen in the order they were played in. Their only difference from non-interrupts is that you can play them on another player's turn. Okay. Actually, might have to let's read more of this. Okay. Now, if there was a card that said it could cancel another card before its effects take place, that would be a different story. In this case, Harriet Tubman's ability comes into play when the CIA snipes her, but her abilities are already coming into effect, so it stays in effect. But is it coming into effect? Like she's getting ready to do it, but it's an interrupt to an interrupt. It's such as, I'll give you an example, and this is the one that's going to come up later on. If someone plays Chernobyl on you, and you reverse that back on the opponent, so, okay, I got an interrupt. But then somebody plays another reverse, sending the Chernobyl back to you. Well, with Steve's argument, and I mean no offense, Steve, or whoever posted it, as the Chernobyl is going in, that reverse wouldn't do anything about it. So unless they're reversing the card, which would then, no. So we're reversing a reverse that reverses a reverse again. So where are the points? Because, Steve, please correct me if I'm wrong. By your understanding, then Chernobyl would bypass the second interrupt, the reverse, and continue going because it's still in action. But this one's saying reverse the abilities, it's going back. Oh, I see what you're saying. So the reason why Harriet Tubman's would work is because the effects are already in play. Like the ball is still going to fall. If you take out Harriet Tubman, the sniping thing, if you take out Harriet Tubman, then all of a sudden that ball is still going to fall in the civilization. Harriet Tubman's going to be gone, but the abilities are still in play. Ooh, good point. Steve, I might have to go against what I said. Okay, so please put in the comments below what you think, because I think Steve has a point that needs to be addressed. Let's see. We're going to leave this up for another session, because you're right, the ball is still flying up and down. On let's see, Thursday at the next virtual tournament, I will make my final discussion on this. If no one's placed anything to counteract Steve's comments, then we may have to go with Steve's comments, and I'm going to have to make a correction at the next virtual tournament. So we'll come back to that. Okay, next one. This is for, let's see. A player asked if Eric the Red is the last player in the land, can he just leave and find a new land without an attack? Okay, so let's go to these. These are both the same abilities, just one says once. The other one doesn't have once because it has the symbols down here. So it says, if he is the last character defending a land, he may escape and discover a second land. Now, here's a great discussion. If he's the last one defending a land, in order to defend the land, someone has to be attacking. So if he's the last one, he may escape and discover a second land. So my thoughts when it comes to this is, again, he would have to be defending the land, meaning someone would have to attack it. So in that standing, then, no, he could not leave that land until the point where someone attacks the land. Ultimately, it really doesn't matter to some extent because he's going to find another land later on. At the same time, if you just want to abandon that land, your opponent just comes in and cleans it up. They just take it for themselves. So do you want to give it up? I'd have to say he'd have to be under attack. Let's see if somebody else put in a comment here. Steve also wrote in here, the term escape with the word defending makes me think that he actually has to be under attack to use this ability. Steve, we're on the same page. Exactly. I love that thought. Okay, moving on to the next one. This one's question number 3, and we are only like halfway through them. So I'm going to have to hurry up. A player asked, what does the 2 mean at the bottom of the image? Do they get to target 2 characters or 2 players twice? What are your thoughts? Wait for next week's Tutorial Tuesday to see how I answer this. Okay, explain it. Okay, so Simo Eha has hold 2, but in his abilities it says Eha can kill up to a total of 2 characters while in play. So it says 2 characters while in play. It does not say 2 characters twice while in play, for one thing. The second thing to know is the 2 usually represents what is said in the abilities. So he may only attack 2 characters in the end. Done deal. That's it. Okay, moving on to this one. Okay, and there is some discussion, so you might want to come back and check that out. This one, question number 2. A player asks when they reverse the attack if they could attack twice, version HC 1.0, which the ability is here, well, in the other card. This one's 2.0, or just once. As you can see from the HC 2.0 card, you can only attack once. So we are reverting to 2.0. We have a conversion chart in historicalconquest.com, so check that out as well. But here it says, I would say twice. Why would you say twice? It doesn't say twice. Josh, please give me a little bit more information. Dane says, since the 1.0 card doesn't specify that you have to attack once, then I'd say you can attack twice. You heard it from the experts here. These are our experts. You guys are the experts. Come up with different ideas. Now, in here, there's no real discussion in here. Do we have a conversion? Well, the conversion in the next one, and this is what I say, that all cards revert to the conversion. The conversion means that it goes from an instant and a 1. It goes to an instant and a 1, the original card. So in that sense, yes, it should only be once. But it didn't actually say one attack for this turn. It just means you can do it once. So I would say go for twice. I'm fine with it. Go for twice. So that's the official rule. Josh and Dane, you're right. Let's go with that. And that's the end for this week. Okay, sorry it was a long one, but there was a lot of questions. If you have any questions, please email us, Zach@historicalconquest.com, or our general account, historicalconquest@gmail.com. Or also come to our virtual tournaments every Thursday and Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in California, it's 3 hours before. So it's then 2 p.m. If you're in Kansas City, from Texas to Chicago, there you go. You're 2 hour difference. You're an hour difference. So it's 4 p.m. Come join us at our virtual tournaments. Contact us through social media if you have a question, or email us. Thank you so much. We're going to catch you later. I got to get going. My kids want to have lunch. So we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. If you have any comments or questions, add them to the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, actually. Take care. Bye.